All right, guys, this is a challenge lock from Shane up in Ontario. I really like these Stanley locks. I know you can bust them open with a ram set, and a 9mm pistol, and high-powered rifle. I got it, but that's true of any lock. This is a really heavy-duty lock, heavy-duty body protecting the core inside of there. It is a removable core, repinnable. Obviously, this is a challenge lock. Heavy-duty shackle, shielded, so when you get the chain on there, it really makes it hard to put your croppers on there. This lock really does have a lot going for it. It has a little spinner here as well. Let me get a tensioner here. This little guy kind of spins around. Doesn't really affect us when we're trying to pick it, but if you're trying to drill it, that definitely comes into play. So another anti-theft mechanism, that's all that really is. This is a challenge lock, and the note says the key is quite difficult to insert and remove. You might need pliers to remove it, but don't worry, you won't damage the lock. What about my fingers, Shane? My goodness. All right. So super strong springs that's going to resist getting that key in there. There's a key, by the way. Mummied. I'm going to try to pick this by hand. A lot of times I find it's easier to pick padlocks by hand because I get feedback through my holding hand and my picking hand. And the only challenge, of course, is keeping it centered in the frame, but I'll do my best. All right, so put that in there, see if I can get that to hold. A little bit recessed there, so it might be a trick. I'm going to first see if I can rake up a fault set. Maybe Shane did make a mistake with the pinning, not with the springing. All right, all the way in. Yeah, those springs are tight for sure. Wow. Well, I'm not getting any love out of this thing. Doesn't always work, but every once in a while you get lucky. Not today. Okay. Backup plan. Medium hook. Oh, let's not take that one. Let's take a, let's get the fat one. It's a wide open keyway. Why not? 23,000 medium hook. See if we can find a super spring. Okay, that was pin 2. Got a little click. No counter rotation yet. A little counter rotation on pin 5. A little click. Okay, I do have a fault set now. Difficult to see because it's recessed, but I felt the core turn. Counter rotation on 2, he's back out, and he's a super spring. And, oh, don't drop it, Bill. I think it's still open. Yep, there we go. Got an open. All right, let's go ahead and gut it and see what Spring put in, Shane put in here besides springs. I had a suspicion when I saw the Sparrow's key. He's probably got the Sparrow security pins in there as well. And this is my chance to use some new tools. All right, let's try this guy. First guess, got it. But wrong tool. All right, what do we got here? I'm looking at 2.5mm. All right, I came prepared. Shane didn't want that to fall out of there for sure. All right, that ought to spring out of there. Let's get a pinning tray. Let's get the lock up here. Let's move some stuff out of here. All right. He should be coming up out of there. Come on. All right, that is the spring or the shackle removal screw. So he should come out of it. There we go. All right, now we need another tool. Tell me it's a 2.5. Okay, I'm just going to leave that. I can go down the center. Okay, it is not a 2.5. It's some other odd size. Something smaller. So let me use these little guys to determine the size. Okay, that would be it. And it is a 2.0. I got one of those too, Shane. And there it is. That's why I don't have kids. Can't find. There it is. Well, it felt like he was all the way out. Shane, did you use super glue on this thing? There we go. Well, either that or broke the tip of it off. I'm not really sure. Shane, did you really use super glue on this? That thing is still tight. Come on, get in there. Feels like there's a raised ridge around it, and it feels like it's stripped out at this point. Hard to say. All right, got a backup plan. Nope, it's stripped. No, it's not. We got it, guys. Despite Shane's best efforts. Now this is caught, but all right, we got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. Get that stuff out of here. Guys, you don't need to use super glue on them or Loctite or any of that stuff. Really. Honest. Okay, we do have a key, and that key would be right here. A little skittish with sharp objects around the lab lately. I'm gonna get tired of that reconstructive surgery stuff. Trust me, you don't want to do it. Okay, we got 18 layers of shrink wrap. Maybe more. All right, there's what we got. Nice, very nice, especially right there hiding behind these two guys. Nasty, nasty. All right, does work. Cool. Looks iffy, but I'll try it. Nope. Try that guy. There we go. All right, we finally get to the heart of the matter. There we go. All 6 of them. Looks like number 3 and number 5 are T-pin looking things. Serrated. Spool. T-pin. Spool. T-pin. And looks like a standard. He's in a wrong neighborhood, guys. Every one of these is threaded, all 6 of them. Okay, now see what we got upstairs. Here we go, beautiful. Look at that. Nice shape, beautiful chromed finish. Very well polished, double spool. I'm going to leave that spring in there. He's flush, so he's not in our way. All right, that one is a very powerful spring, and that is looks like a homemade spool. Very deep, very nice. Why don't we take these springs out since we know they're different now? Let's take out number 1. Of course, we need another tool on this pile here. Well, he was a standard spring. He just had a lot more oomph. All right, number 3. Not too strong on the spring, a little double spool. Number 4, just barely breaks the shear line. And it is a T-pin, but the T was pointing upwards, away from the key. So that means he's probably got a disc under him, and there he is. So he was a floater, a drunken spool. We're just not going to mess with that. Okay, where'd those tweezers go? Number 6. Looks like commercial serrated. And a double spool, very Asa-like, but it is homemade. Very nice. A double spring on 6. And a single spring on 5. And we're missing 1, and that would be 4. And he's not coming out. Get my beater block so I don't catch any flack from you guys. All right, he is starting to come out, but he looks like he's about caught up in there. Something, there he is. We're actually missing 1 more spring. I'm not going to worry about him right now. All right, guys, everything inside of here, from what I've seen, where'd the flashlight go? Every one of these is also threaded, all 6 chambers. So it looks like he took the top off of this, did the dirty deed 6 times in a row, and then put that baby back on there. Here's what we're looking at. Grab this guy. I really want to show this drunken spool. All right, so we got a double spool. We have a homemade very deep spool. All of these bottom pins were modified. Well, we have a standard here and a standard here, but all of these are handmade. A little T-pin on here on 5. Upstairs, commercial serrated. He's upside down. The serrations obviously are pointing the other way. A Asa-like pin here and a drunken spool. So the idea being when you clear the shear line with this guy, you get caught on a very skinny part right there, and it really flops around, giving you a deep, deep fault set. Anyway, guys, there you go. Wayne, or Shane, I'm sorry it took so long to get this, but those screws, don't use epoxy, guys, really. You're not doing any of us any favors. Appreciate your time. Stay safe. Stay legal. Shane, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.